Hey YouTube, hey Bold and the Beautiful fans, Grace comes clean to Finn, and soon Liam is going to find out the shocking truth that he was never dying. This was all a deception on Grace's part, so let's get into why Dr. Grace did this, and now what the consequences that Grace could be facing as well. So Finn, of course, was stunned when Grace came clean and told the truth after Finn had insisted that she tell him everything. Finn knew something wasn't right about all of this with Liam's experimental surgery. Things weren't adding up. After Finn examined Liam's MRIs, the scans, Finn had more questions, and then those incisions on Liam were too small for a surgery. Then Finn learned that Bill had paid $1 million for the treatment, so Finn had his suspicions about this experimental treatment that supposedly had saved Liam's life after, of course, Liam was diagnosed with a terminal brain condition. But it turns out it was all a lie. It was all made up by Grace so she could swindle Bill out of $1 million. Now, to Bill, that's a small price to pay to save his son's life, but it turns out all of this was a scam. But Grace had her reasons. She didn't want that money for herself either, but to pay off her ex-husband's gambling debts and, more importantly, to protect her daughters who were being threatened by loan sharks. Grace broke down and told Finn that loan sharks were threatening Paris and Zoe. Grace needed that money and she was desperate to get it, so she concocted this scheme to fake a terminal illness for Liam, knowing that Bill Spencer would fork over the cash to save his son. After Liam was wounded, though, in the conflict with Lona, that set back a bit Grace's plans, but Finn was able to save Liam on the operating table, and Grace then was able to resume her strategy to get that $1 million. Grace told Bill about this highly secret and experimental surgical procedure, and Bill, of course, was happy to pay the money if it meant saving Liam. Bill would do anything to save his son, and of course the miracle cure worked and Liam was saved, but of course now we know it was all a lie. Grace felt forced to do this to protect her family, and she begged Finn not to tell anyone about what she did. "Are you going to tell Liam?" Grace asked Finn. "No, you are," Finn replied. So, of course, Finn wants Grace to tell Liam and Hope the truth, and we're going to see that very soon. Meanwhile, Liam and Hope have been catching up, and the two exes reminisced on what happened with Reese Buckingham and how he had stolen their baby on Catalina. Liam thought it was ironic, too, that Grace now was the one who saved him after everything that had previously happened with Reese. What a twist, right? Reese tried to steal my daughter away from me, and his ex-wife gave me more time with her, said Liam. But now Liam and Hope are going to find out the truth, the horrible, awful truth that all of this was made up by Grace so that she could get the money. Spoilers for tomorrow say that Liam and Hope are shocked by what Grace begins to tell them. Finn is encouraging, demanding that Grace come clean and tell Liam and Hope the horrible truth, that Liam all along was fine, that he was never dying. And can you imagine what Liam's reaction is going to be? Finn might have some understanding for Grace, but how is Liam and how is Hope? How are they going to react? And Steffi and Bill? Bill was taken to the cleaners, and even though it's a small price to pay for Bill, he's still not going to be happy that all of this was fraudulent, a scam created by Grace to pay off those loan sharks. How will the characters react? I can't wait to find out, but I feel for Grace too. This was a mess that Reese Buckingham created, and it led to Beth being stolen, the baby swap on Catalina, and all the turmoil that put the characters through. And now this. More pain because of Reese's problems, and I'm wondering if we'll even see Reese again or not. We'll have to see. But Grace is likely to pay a price. The only question is what? Liam and Hope will find out the truth soon, so will they keep this secret? It's not likely that they're going to, so what's going to happen to Grace? One idea suggests she could end up in jail, but I hope not. I hope there's a way to figure this out, but it's understandable too that the characters are going to be outraged over this. Liam and Hope will realize that this wasn't any kind of irony that Grace saved Liam, because of course it was all a lie, a terrible lie born out of desperation. And it all leads back to Reese Buckingham, to that dark, windy night on Catalina when Hope and Liam's world was turned upside down, when they believed they had lost their infant newborn baby daughter. But Beth was alive the whole time. Reese had lied to them, saying their baby didn't make it. But in actuality, Reese sold the baby to pay off loan sharks who were threatening Zoe at the time. And now Liam will realize he was fine the whole time. He was never dying, but he's still now, he and Hope, still intertwined with the painful past that Reese started on that night in Catalina. So hopefully there will be some healing that comes for this, but it's going to be really interesting to see how all of this plays out and how everyone reacts to this news. So keep it here. We'll keep the updates coming on this intriguing story. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Watch The Bold and the Beautiful, CBS Daytime and Paramount Plus, and I'll see you in the next video.